me personally, growing up in post-Soviet countries, I'm very dedicated to make real estate a seizure-resistant asset, so that no dictatorship or corrupted governments can take over property rights.
Today I sit down with Natalia K, CEO of Propy, who's on a mission to put the 280 trillion real estate market on chain.
So Propy is all about bringing real estate on chain.
The real world asset leader in real estate. US licensed escrow on smart contracts.
I think it's transformative. It's very impactful. Not only we can bring a better affordability in the housing industry in the US, but also we can tremendously impact the developing countries. The real estate on chain means more integrity, more trust in those transactions.
I'm also honored to be joined by Andrew Zapo, co-founder of PropyKeys.
So we're like kind of like a social on-chain layer for Propy that is like more playful, more kind of gamified.
And watch today's whole interview, because if you have a Coinbase wallet,
we have Coinbase Wallet Quests that are fascinating because they teach Coinbase Wallet users, which are over 80 million users in the US, they teach users to mint their home addresses.
Thank you, Propy, for sponsoring today's video. And Natalia, I would love to learn about you.
Yeah, absolutely. My background is first in software engineering. When I was 19 years old, I launched my first entrepreneurial venture in a garage, very typical story, but in Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria. But very quickly, I saw an opportunity in real estate and became a real estate developer. So for 15 years, I've been building communities in real life. And then after doing it for many, many years, I decided that I want to build something more impactful, combining those two passions, software development and real estate. And I moved to Silicon Valley in 2016-17, precisely to build Propy with the mission to automate transactions without knowing much about blockchain. And once I started to network and brainstorm with engineers, I realized about smart contracts capabilities that could become this inflection point of automation in real estate. So that's how I got into it, not through investing, but rather through the building inspirations.
I love that. And Andrew, how about you?
Yeah, so I've been in blockchain since 2017. Before that, I had a pretty successful career in marketing. So I worked with those bigger brands like KFC, TD Bank, the city of Toronto, Budweiser, many of them. So I've been leading some of the nationwide campaigns back in Ukraine and Russia. I'm Ukrainian myself, Ukrainian Canadian technically. And here in Canada, I worked with a couple of brands as well. And in 2017, I had a chance to join this Silicon Valley-based blockchain startup and head their marketing because I already got kind of involved into crypto, like as a hobby before, basically from 2013-14. And I just got excited about this whole idea of money that don't belong to any kind of specific authority, centralized governments or anything like that. And I just kind of got carried away by that. And in 2017, I quit my really stable and nice job in agency here in Toronto and joined crypto world. And since then, basically, that's what I'm doing all the time.
So Propy is, for lack of a better word, an old dog in the space. You guys have been building for years, unlike these new things that are just pop up overnight. But for somebody who's never heard of Propy, what is it?
Absolutely. So blockchain will revolutionize the value, the way we transfer value on chain. And money has been the first application of blockchain. In my opinion, the next big application use case is transferring home ownership and property rights on chain. The internet phenomenon was all about transferring information. Now we have the blockchain phenomenon to transfer value. And this high value asset class as real estate is prone to be transferred via blockchain. So since 2017, we've been working relentlessly. So it took us years to build this very compliant product. And before we saw traction about a year ago with a growing number of transactions as a title and escrow license US entity, before that, it just took us years in building the transaction platform, getting homeowners, getting realtors, industry leaders to understand the mission, to understand the product, to nail down on all the aspects of this wizard-like journey, the user experience for closings of transactions, so that the end user doesn't even understand that there is a blockchain technology on the back end. And the most exciting parts are starting really this year with PropyKeys, a part of our ecosystem project, which I'm very happy to talk about today, because it allows people to be educated about property rights on chain, even if you don't own a home yet and you're not ready to get into ownership.
So what is PropyKeys?
PropyKeys is the project under the Propy ecosystem umbrella. And basically our mission is to bring 1 million real estate addresses on chain and gamify the experience of getting those addresses moved onto the blockchain. Basically, we're kind of creating this bridge between the real world and the crypto native. You may want to say, if you don't want to use the word degen, probably not the best word for that, but basically what we're doing there is that we create a set of incentives for early minters of the addresses, of the home addresses, and basically you can stake your NFTs of minted addresses and do different things with them. But apart from that, like if you're moving down this like funnel, then basically you can mint a deed on chain that signifies your ownership over this particular address and particular home. And basically that way you're kind of like moving to this like real world actual thing. And the benefits of that, well, apart from staking, that are more kind of native, crypto native things, for the real owner, minting a deed on chain means that you have the kind of, you protect your ownership over the place, because counties in the US often get hacked, and there's like insurance companies that would protect your deed. But basically, with on-chain solution, you have to do it only once. You just put your deed on chain, and that creates like a real value for an actual homeowner. Apart from that, like within the this gamification part, the crypto native part, you can stake your deed NFT with Propy and get 10x staking reward from, as opposed to just a regular address, it's just 1x. So basically we're kind of, PropyKeys is this like bridge between like real world utility of Propy ecosystem and then kind of crypto native play with NFTs, landmarks. We have a special treatment for landmarks. So you can own the like White House NFT that's going to look nicely because it's generated by AI. So we're like kind of like a social on-chain layer for Propy that is like more playful, more kind of gamified, and maybe more degen. I don't know.
I kind of like the degen word. Why not? Yeah, it is crypto native degen game, Monopoly-like. Where we can attract a lot of people to have fun and yet learn.
I love that. And if I'm a homeowner, am I the only one that has access to own my address in the digital world, PropyKeys, or can anybody get it? Or how does that work?
So anybody can get your home address, but then basically it's just the home address. It's not like, it doesn't mean that the person owns your home. If you want to put your deed on chain, then basically it's not like, there's no squatters. Like we build the system that is like secures this real owners kind of protection, so they can come in with their deed and mint their deed on chain, and the cost for them will be just the same as if they were minting it from scratch. So they're not paying more. There's like, say if tomorrow Ariana Grande comes and like wants to like mint her own home and it's already kind of minted, she's not going to be ending up paying like millions for that. So there's no, it doesn't work like that. She's going to have to pay just the same fee. It's 100 pro tokens for minting a deed on chain. And then basically from there, she owns the home. There's nothing else to it.
I can
So
give an example. For example,
please.
Austin. Yes, for example, I bought your home address. I have it on my chain now, but I actually want you to learn about Propy and PropyKeys, and you get it from me. So if you're the real owner, then you pay, as Andrew mentioned, 100 Propy tokens, and then I receive half of it, 50 Propy tokens. And on top of that, as a minter, I would receive an OG NFT. And then if I do many mints, over 10 mints of different addresses, let's say I buy a whole street, and then I educate all those neighbors, owners, hey, go ahead and also add your deed on chain. Then I can actually stake my NFTs.
Wow. Is it so if I have this right, the original Propy, you can buy and sell a home on chain. You can through an NFT, everything can be done on the blockchain, but PropyKeys, more gamified, does that fit into the metaverse narrative more or just the real world assets trend more?
I think
I would say it's
both.
both. Yeah.
Yeah. But the 3D world would come much later, right? After we all here in the ecosystem figure out the base layer, which is, by the way, we're building those mints on base, layer 2 by Coinbase.
I love that. And what has, in general, because again, Propy's been around for years, what has the growth been like, through the bear market into this bull market?
It obviously has been really hard during the downtime, but it gave us an opportunity to really focus on the real estate automation and obtaining those title and escrow licenses, which requires very experienced closing team, a lot of classes, and a lot of know-how in the real estate industry, in the closing industry, to not violate any RESPA and other real estate laws. And we last year we did over $50 million in volume when we were able to do full closing, where AI would read all the closing documents, the purchase agreement, extract the data, and would feed the smart contracts with this Oracle data in terms of the conditions of these purchase agreements. And then the settlement by smart contract would lead the ownership to be changed directly in the county, because we are integrated with counties as well as with banks. So we protect the earning money deposit processes from wire fraud. It's all automated on our platform. So you can imagine that we've been building a lot by integration and have this data integrity across the whole closing process with all the main industry participants. But we're very happy to be back when with the crypto games and crypto native ecosystem projects like PropyKeys, when the market is going up. During the last bull run, we did probably one of the most fascinating innovations in the space in both real estate and crypto, where we were able to transfer a real estate ownership as an NFT. It was an instant sale. It was the first ever high value transaction of a residential property entirely on smart contract without the need of the license escrow or notaries or any other services, fully done on chain.
That's the future in a lot of ways. It's like I listen to people like, I see Kevin O'Leary on like CNBC and stuff, and tokenizing real world assets, deeds for houses and property. That seems to be the next obvious step.
And it's like this is a step that's already there, right? We're not talking about like the kind of 5 years to come. Like it's already there, and basically all of the kind of the blockchain capacity is already there for all the for everything, starting from minting to kind of deed to kind of transitioning the high value tickets. So it's already here. It's Propy. It does work. Everything's there. It's just I guess a matter of like mass adoption. That's the question. So the question is when. It's not whether.
Is there? You guys have an announcement with Coinbase that's happening. What is that?
Yeah, so we We have Coinbase Wallet Quests that are fascinating because they teach Coinbase Wallet users, which are over 80 million users in the US, they teach users to mint their home addresses, and not only mint their home addresses for fun through PropyKeys, but also then add their deed on chain, which through Propy we do automatically. Once you provide your wallet and your name, on the back end as an escrow and title license company, we're able to actually get your deed and put it on chain, encrypted on IPFS, because many hacks are happening with counties. And thus, the old generation is actually very stressed and worried how they can protect their title deed information from being hacked, from having their identity stolen to get over their home ownership. It's been over $400 million lost last year in those title and only title fraud. In addition, there are billions of dollars lost in wire fraud, as reported by FBI. Many of those are happening during real estate transactions.
So anybody that has a Coinbase account right now can take advantage and start doing those quests?
Yeah,
Coinbase
so
Wallet, to be specific.
maybe explain steps, because I got a little bit deviated into why, but actually
Yeah.
how does it work?
So there's actually two quests happening right now on Coinbase app, where we have the just general Propy ecosystem kind of learn and earn campaign. With Coinbase Wallet, because the users are more tech savvy, DeFi ready, and DGen something, I don't know. I didn't come up with it. But yeah, basically, those users, they're already living on chain, and basically they have an option of participating in the quest, and it will look like that. So basically, as a user of Coinbase Wallet, if you have some ETH in your wallet, then you're eligible for getting a pre-fund from Propy in Propy tokens that you can use and mint the address within the PropyKeys app. And basically you can mint any address in the world, including some of the landmarks, although there has been quite a few already that are minted. White House address is minted already. And basically as a reward, you're going to get more Pro tokens for minting. And yeah, basically we just launched it, this campaign yesterday. So exciting stuff.
I want to get the Hollywood sign. How do I do it?
That's a
good one. Yeah, so basically the Hollywood sign has been sold just last Sunday on OpenSea.
First of all, just a second. Sorry, Andrew, that I'm interrupting you. First of all, the landmark AI minting is happening only once a month. And so we did this first minting campaign with our beta version about a month ago. So somebody, I think there were like 200 landmark mints done. So somebody already minted the Hollywood sign, and you cannot mint it anymore, but you can mint something else that is
I'll put a bid on it.
Yeah, that's funny. The thing is that this is the actual first NFT sold as a landmark. It's been sold on OpenSea just this Sunday. And yeah, it's basically you can just go and find PropyKeys on OpenSea to find that sale. But that's the actual first landmark NFT that's been sold for one ETH approximately. So some of the most kind of world-renowned landmarks have been minted already, but there's still more to come. And mostly we're talking about the US. If you go outside of the US, chances are there's still many landmarks are there, especially in Europe and Asia, South America, so maybe more local ones. So yeah.
What's on the roadmap in 2024 specifically for Propy and PropyKeys?
Let me start kind of with higher and bigger mission view at Propy. We're committed to definitely pushing the boundaries in real estate. Me personally, growing up in post-Soviet countries, I'm very dedicated to make real estate a seizure-resistant asset, so that no dictatorship or corrupted governments can take over property rights so easily as it's happening today in many, many countries. I'm also very much dedicated into addressing affordability in the US, because currently about 10% of home values are spent annually, absolutely every single year. American homeowners, home buyers are spending 10% of home values on transferring fees, transfer fees, different closing fees, and whatnot. And as you can imagine, many people just purely cannot afford homes just for those 5 to 10% down payment. So I'm dedicated to keep automating the real estate transaction, keep making it affordable, bringing it as a real world asset entirely on chain, because when the real estate asset lives on chain, then you can use it as a collateral. Then you can use it to build more real estate related derivatives like the mortgage products and the secondary market of the mortgage products. Then this would avoid any risks of what we have seen in 2008. So what comes is obviously the growth. We've been growing approximately 20% month to month in terms of sales and number of closings. So we'll keep growing. We have a huge master plan on how we would acquire existing escrow and title companies that are profitable, but obviously because they don't use those technologies, they're not very efficient. We want to shorten the closing time from 30 days, which is traditional, to 10 to 20 days. And with the NFT transaction, we proved that you can actually do it within minutes. So this is what on our horizon as a roadmap, just keep bringing more efficiency to our existing products.
I love your passion. That's exciting. Andrew.
Yeah, so for PropyKeys, I don't know, I feel like I have to have this much of a passion as well. Yeah, so basically for PropyKeys, we again, the goal is 1 million minted addresses on chain, and then basically if we have more, then that's good. Our goal is to bring more addresses, more deeds on chain, and basically funnel those people to have like more flexibility with their real estate, more freedom, more kind of better sleep with having deeds minted on chain. Apart from that, we're also developing a couple of gamification kind of mechanics around those deeds and NFTs. I don't think I can disclose it right now, but basically, yeah, we're just like creating new incentives for minters, incentives for owners to be on chain with us. And yeah, basically we're looking at kind of big scale campaigns and bringing hundreds of thousands of people to use PropyKeys.
I want to ask you about the real world asset, just trend in general, but is there anything we didn't cover, any aspect of Propy or PropyKeys?
I think I could elaborate a little bit more. As we know, there are very successful real-world asset protocols such as Centrifuge, Maple, and so far we've seen a great success with bringing bonds, T-bills, different businesses onto those platforms. And obviously, I see a huge opportunity on building crypto mortgages through those platforms in the future, and those protocols to become kind of the infrastructure and the foundation for the future of the mortgage industry. For example, you can imagine, let's say, a $20 million pool where people are participating to lend their funds, and then borrowers would use these pools to apply for an instant mortgage. And in this instant mortgage, it may have a higher interest, but because it's instant and because you don't have to exit your Bitcoin holdings, your Ethereum holdings, then you're definitely incentivized to apply. Let's say you want to buy $1 million home, then you would apply with $1 million collateral in Bitcoin or ETH or some other cryptocurrencies, and then you would have a real world asset NFT backed by real estate, as well as this holding, and then you'll get a loan. I foresee those loans to be short term for now, let's say 2-year loans, not a 30-year mortgage product, but because everyone is anticipating the Bitcoin price to go further in price in the next year or two. And thus Bitcoin holders or other coin holders do not want to exit those positions, but they can participate in real estate as an investor, while, of course, those pools are protected by double collateral. And if suddenly either real estate or the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency space is dropping, then obviously this protocol can start exiting the crypto holdings. So I see a huge opportunity here because the real estate transaction industry, the real estate value globally is $300 trillion. The transaction space is about $30 trillion. And then the mortgage space, probably about 20% of that. So it's huge, huge industries that RWA space yet to come in terms of the first experiments, and then it would scale.
That sounds ideal, especially for people that don't want to sell their Bitcoin, but obviously or want to buy a house or real estate. I feel that I have such a better knowledge after you guys have come on today on what PropyKeys are. Links are down below for anybody to further their education. But just final thoughts on Propy and PropyKeys in general. Natalia, how about we start with you?
Mean the world with PropyKeys. Find PropyKeys on Twitter, on X. Start getting educated on Coinbase, the Coinbase app, as well as the Coinbase wallet. And this would allow you to learn about both Propy and PropyKeys. So Propy is all about bringing real estate on chain. We'd love all of you guys to join us in this movement. I think it's transformative. It's very impactful. Not only we can bring a better affordability in the housing industry in the US, but also we can tremendously impact the developing countries, the post-Soviet countries, because the real estate on chain means more integrity, more trust in those transactions, less hacks, and again, more affordability in the space.
I love that. Andrew, please,
final
thoughts.
I would add to this. Final thoughts. I guess, again, go use PropyKeys. If you're in the US, store your deed on chain. If you're outside of US or just want to have some fun, try to find a landmark, try to kind of find the landmark that you like, and maybe it's still there. Maybe you can still mint it.
Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing your time. Links are down below. Thank you.